So hello friends, in this video we're going to discuss about the hypothesis testing. So if we talk about the hypothesis testing, what is hypothesis testing is, I have seen many videos and I really didn't understand why we need a hypothesis testing. Why there is a need of mean, mode, okay, median. So even if I have calculated the mean, so what is the result? How I'm going to use it? So I'm not sure of that. So I didn't understand it by watching many videos. Let's say if I tell you about the car, and if I tell you, okay, this is the car and how it looks, but instead of telling you the car, and instead of telling you the car, I'll tell you the components of the car. Okay, like it has tire, it has wheel. Because if I tell you like this, you won't be able to understand. Okay, you won't be able to understand. I'm talking about a car. If I'm talking about the component, you won't be able to understand that. Okay, so there are many things in hypothesis testing is statistics. Okay, so I'm going to explain you why we need to understand all these things. Okay, so hypothesis testing is like in terms of statistics is um, all the statistics revolving around hypothesis testing. Okay, so you need to prove your hypothesis whether it is correct or not. Okay, so you have to reject your hypothesis if your data is not proving it correct, so you need to reject that hypothesis. And if you want to understand why we have the testing, it can be a testing can be of anything. Okay, it has the null hypothesis, alternate hypothesis. It is the same as it is the same thing as you are asking the question to yourself that you will get a job or not. Okay, 50% 50% probability whether you will get the job or not, whether um, um, take any example, okay, where there is an uncertainty. So if I plot my data, okay, over the chart, so in that sense I will be able to make any judgment, okay, whether this is it is going under my it is going to if this condition is coming under my favor or it is going out of my favor. So we have the null hypothesis. Let's say if I want to test some drugs, okay, so my assumption is it doesn't matter to it doesn't impact the person, it doesn't affect the person. Or alternate hypothesis is just opposite, it will not impact the person. Okay, if I'm doing the testing of drugs. And so if my data is correct, then we will able to understand where my by looking at the chart I will understand whether I have to accept this hypothesis or not. And this is the Gaussian uh, function. So I'll make you understand how this is the PDF basically, and I'll make you understand that how you will come up with this equation. So let's say we have the parabola equation x square, and if you add 1 2 3 4, okay, the graph will the parabola of the graph will be a u. Okay, and the second graph is the exponential. So whatever the value you put, the graph will look like this of the exponential. Okay, so if you break down this normal distribution chart, it is made up of these two charts, okay, parabola and the this exponential. And please and if you want to understand the graphs, okay, try to read it like this, because you need to break down the chart and you have to make sure whatever you know and the other chart will make out of these two, or maybe from the other chart. So if you see the equation, this is here the exponential is used. If you see the equation, exponential is used, right? So there's x square means z square. So this is a hyperbola, z square and x square are hyperbola. Minus is there because you need to reverse the hyperbola, okay, inverse the hyperbola. So if you inverse the hyperbola, it will come down just like normal distribution. So that's why we have negative. We have exponential because there are two tails, right? uh, Two tails, So that's why, and if you just reverse this tail, you will be having the normal distribution. Okay, so there are many points out of one. This is the one, and the other thing is type 1 error and type 2 error. There's so many confusion in this type 1 error and type type 2 error. Why will I say type 1 error? Why will I say type 2 error? We all know that we have two errors. So I'll show you one graph. If you see this graph, so null hypothesis graph is the first one, alternate hypothesis is the second graph, and there's if there's an overlap, which always be, okay, whether I'll get a job or not. Okay, there's uncertainty. Uh, okay, so if my system is giving me some data, whether person is having some disease, okay, and the other person is not, maybe it is giving me that one person is pregnant or not. Okay, so the wrong assumption can be a man can be pregnant. Okay, so this is what my system is giving me, which is wrong information, or exceptional case. Okay, so so if there is a overlapping between these two, then there are two there is type 1 and type 2 error. Type 1 error is let's say a man is pregnant. This is wrong, right? This is come under the type 1 error. And the type 2 error is, even if I'm pregnant, my system is saying I'm not pregnant. Okay, so hypotheses are just like yes or no. So you got the understanding of what the error and type 1 and type 2 error is. Okay, right. So similarly, if you can take another example, whether somebody is guilty or not. So I made a two graph. One graph is innocent and other graph is non-innocent. If they are overlapping, okay, so they are always, obviously there is a type 1 and type 2 error. So if person is guilty and my system is saying that person is not guilty, which is type 1 error. If a person is innocent but the system is saying it is guilty, then this is a type 2 error, right? So these are the two type of errors we have to make sure that we have to keep this in mind. Okay, so this is what the type 1 error is. So type 1 error are your alpha and type 2 error are your betas. Okay, right, so type 1 error is alpha, type 2 error is beta. Right. So I hope you like that video. We will meet in the next video. Okay, thank you.